Story time. So many stories have not been told. Some of them have been told, but not completely. Not everything that is written we can trust because it has passed through hands of people that are looking for their own interest in order to control the narrative. Remember that what we believe is what we do. And if we have certain stories that are psychologically and emotionally moving us, and we can just change that a little bit if we are in power, then we can control the masses, right? So there's some stories that haven't been told, and it's important for us to understand those stories. So the stories that I'm going to bring today, the story that I'm bringing today is the original story of the circle table. Not only uh, King Arthur designed this table, it came from before. So let's talk about King David. King David was the king of war, right? He was elected within God's grace through the prophet Daniel over Saul because he was required to do what God willed because Saul didn't. This is the narrative, right, of the Bible. He did whatever God said. He was a sinner also. The story a little bit, I don't want to go into King David's story, but his story is he betrayed his own best friend. He sent him to war because he was in love with the wife of his friend Nathan, and he got killed. He was sent into a war that was unnecessary with little men, and he was killed. So he felt very guilty about that, right? So being the war king and being the one that unified Israel, in a way, he always had that guilt, and he wanted to cleanse that because what he had after that was just complete action reaction karma. His big son Amnon raped his sister, then he was killed. Absalom, another child, did a rebellion and crowned himself to be king because his father couldn't kill his other brother. It's a complete transgenerational mess. Something that we see today in many families, in the same way or even worse or a little bit better, but we all see these little dramas. So King Solomon was the 10th child of King David. Why he was chose is because he came as a prophecy, and also because his grace was incredible peaceful. Let's understand that during the reign of King Solomon, there was absolute peace. He not only unified the 12 tribes, he brought in other cultures into Jerusalem to integrate tribes that were enemies of the state before. He integrated them to welcome their culture and form one universal culture together. He was open for free love. He was open to integrate different cultures into one. He was the complete contrary of a lot of people that we see today in power. He was about open borders, but not the open borders that only let people in. The open borders that give that people something that is necessary in order for them to work and follow that work. So he built physically an empire of wealth, knowledge, music, art, and many other things by integrating. He knew how to do it. But all of that comes with this next story. How he did that is out of magic. It's out of the pact with our 72 states of consciousness, the 72 personalities that we can have, integrating them and being one. So King Solomon was chosen to be the king. Of course, a lot of the brothers didn't accept it, but due to political things, they had to accept it. But still, they weren't very happy. They wanted to kill him. They have done it before. And also the patriarchs weren't so happy about it because they already had different types of like agreements with the other with the other kids, right? With the other kids of David. So there was this big chamber that they used to have their meetings, the king with the patriarchs. And it was a rectangular long table. So he sat down there in silence. He brought an axe and he broke the table. He brought some nails and some things, and he created a ring table, and he put all the seats around there. He sat down there and he started to weep and cry because he was lost. He said, God, I don't know what to do. Please guide me. And from the middle of that ring table, this flaming orb, flaming, started to vibrate in front of him. It was heated. It was white and silver. He couldn't see. Around this orb was toroidal energy from the north to the south. I mean, from up to the bottom. It's toroidal, like two wings. It's an angel, right? He says, who are you? What are you? He said, I am Gabriel. I am the messenger of the universe, of what you call God, the real and the true God. The true God. That is the universe, not a bearded dude over there in a, that's me talking, by the way. Bearded dude being there like Santa Claus. So you're naughty, you're not. You're a sinner. You should give me this. No, that's not God. No. So he said, you have passed your first test. You want to unite the people. You want to be equal to them. Now you have to pass your second test to have your gift. That is the third test. It's like, what do I need to do then? He said, the second task is you have to pull out the sword from the stone. It's like, what sword? I have my sword over here. Like, what do you mean, what stone, what sword? Like the original sword, Salomon. It's like, original sword. Just think about it. What is the original sword? You know what the original sword is. The sword of God, where he comes through you and cuts out all ties and creates unification. It's not the one that you wield. So he felt his tongue tingle. Oh, it's the tongue. He said, pull it out. And you're going to see. Look, go. It has the shape of a sword, the tongue. What is the stone? It's the teeth. When you're angry, when you're stressed, what do? You clench. You push the tongue to the teeth as you're anguished, like, right? So in order to pull it out is to breathe in, breathe out, and let the spirit come through, perception come through. Say what you feel. Say what you don't want to control. Say the things without control. It comes more as a tongue. It comes with stories. It comes with peace. So he started to sing a beautiful melody. After the melody, the angel created a sigil, the pentagram. It was not this one specific. It had 72 seals within this big seal, 72 forms, 72 sigils within this sigil. He said, this is the medallion of truth. So what do you mean the medallion of truth? Over there, you have the power to invoke the 72 demons. It's like, wait a second, are you really the messenger of God? Because you're talking to me about demons. What do you mean about demons? You know nothing about demons. Something that you should understand. If you want to be the wise king and the peace king, you need to have peace with demons, with the demons that are in the collective of people. Because demons are not there running around with horns and poking each other's asses. No, they're inside our brains, people. They're inside our hearts. We get possessed whenever we feel anger, or we feel sadness, or we feel remorse. Those are names of real demons. I'm saying it actually. Those emotions are demons. And when you see someone get angry or sad, they change their faces. So this is the way to call them. This is a seal to call them. And you sit them down in the 72 seats that you have over here in the circle, and you talk to them. You got to make peace with them, because they're the ones that help you to construct the empire that you require for today and for the real tomorrow. The angel left. He blowed some air on the sigil, and 72 demons started to put on their bodies on the different tables, different forms, humanoid, like weird tetric animal like humanoid giants and stuff, and snake heads, and some look like felines with 5 heads, and you can imagine whatever you want. 72, and it was chatter on the hall. He felt afraid, but he knew that he had in him the curiosity to understand them. If the messenger of God brought me this for a reason, there's a reason that I have then to use my curiosity. So he started with the first one on the right, the general of generals, Belzebub. He said, "What's your name?" He said, "Belzebub." It's like, okay, that's the name you put, but what's your real name? He said, "I am anger, wrath. Why?" King Solomon looked at him and it's like, "Why you wrath? Why you anger? Is that your original name? Is that your original self? Like this? You have always been like this?" He said, "No." "Well, tell me your story." It's like, he tells him the story. So this is a story within the story. A long time ago, before the biblical stories, these are legends, these are myths. There used to be two important empires in this earth with other technologies, with other bodies. They're also, they're the Lemurians and the Atlanteans, and this other civilization that came from far away, from a land of darkness. They came in because what they wanted was gold. So when they came inside and they started to, sneak up into the land and take the gold, the mountains were defending themselves because these guardians, energetical guardians, were just sabotaging everything they did. These guardians were there, spirit guardians, in the consciousness of the energy of the earth. So these evil people said, "We gotta break these guardians." But these guardians are fed with the psychology and the ideas of these people. We have to break them. So they went to the youngest civilization, the Atlanteans, and they started to persuade them. They started to, present them weapons and present them different types of stupefacients, like different types of, let's call it drugs. Drugs have a lot of meaning, but they just gave them stuff, like a little bit like what happened when the Spanish came here with the natives, and give them alcohol and stuff. So it goes over there. So they persuade them, and they made the Atlanteans the enemies of the Lemurians. But the Lemurians were peaceful; they were not going to do anything. They created a weapon, a machine, to change the frequency of the earth, so they can push away the energy that the Lemurians used to handle with high consciousness meditation and other stuff. So they created a Merkaba. It's the Merkaba is the 6-pointed star in 3D. They created a synthetic Merkaba. They say they built it by the Bermuda Triangle today. And what happened is that machine, when they activated it, it created an implosion. It exploded. It was an accident. And it ruptured not only the physical earth, but it ruptured dimensions that let out low frequency gases and other stuff that killed the Atlanteans, that shook the earth, that made the Lemurians run and hide, and created floods. We have a lot of floods stories throughout different cultures. In the Hebrews, in the Gilgamesh, we have it on the Incas, we have it on the Blackfoot, we have it with the Shinto, if I'm not mistaken, we have it in many mythologies. The Great Flood. So that age was over. And all of the 72 guardians distorted themselves because of this rupture. and became the demons of today. And that was the story that he told. And he said, I failed. I was supposed to be the guardian. Now I'm no guardian because I failed. So I am wrath. I am anger. I am destruction also. Well, that's my brother next to me, but I control him. So King Solomon felt not pity, he felt compassion and took out the harp of his father and he started to sing him a song. And this being converted himself to be a beautiful jaguar, a beautiful black jaguar with its spots that were like silver stars. And he became the guardian again. And he did this demon to demon. We're going to tell the story longer in another day. The story of each one of them, because each one of them have their stories. So these demons are really guardians. They're spirits. That's what daemon means, spirits that are within the collective of the consciousness. They're archetypes. So he sang to the old 72, and that hall was peaceful and filled with light. And each one of them gave King Solomon a gift, a powerful gift. Each one of them a gift of vision, technology, science, healing, and connection. And they told him what to say to each culture in order to connect them all. So he became the king that unified all of the countries around, states, empires, whatever. Nobody's really and truly evil. Not even the worst. Not even the one that you consider real evil. These people, yes, they're in need of help, but they have they have been messing and using the wrong magic, because all of the people that are in power, especially the elite, they're holding these demons, these energies, these powers captive. It's not them that they're captive of this demonic energy. It's them that they're keeping the spirits captive. Because after King Solomon died, all of this broke. So this is my call on people. Don't hate your fellow man or your fellow woman. Understand that these are energies far away from us, and what we should do is understand our story and have compassion and give that medicine through energy so we can find the way how to liberate them again. Because the demons are in our consciousness, in a collective field of consciousness. See you soon for the next story. And like, share, and also, if you want a specific story about something, let me know.